Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and I wanted to come on today to share kind of the evolution of my Fauxbonichis through the year 2015, last year. This is a stack of my books from last year. So this is what the spines look like. They're all labeled with the months. I used altered composition books, a variety of them. Some of them were from Walmart, one was from Staples, some were from Dollar Tree, some were from the supermarket. So this was the first year I had done the Fauxbonichi. And yeah, so I have 6 books, and each book holds 2 months. And that's what the spines look like. And then if I can do this so that we're in frame, this is what the other side looks like. My first book over here, I did not washi tape the sides. The rest of the books I did washi tape the sides. And so that's how that looks. And I hold them on my shelf. They sit on my bookshelf. So what I'm gonna do is kind of scoot these over here, and then I'll show you kind of the evolution and how my style has changed. I'm not going to go through every single book and every single page because I have like 58 flip throughs on this channel. So if you'd like to see them more in depth, feel free to go back and look at those videos. So this was my very first book, and I just put some painted papers on the front and painted papers on the back and wrote out a quote that I liked. That's one of the things I do like about using the altered composition books, is because I do get bored fairly easily. So I like that I can change the covers every 2 months, okay? On the inside of this one, I just did some, scrapbook paper, put a quote. And this is how I started out. Now, again, I'm not going to go through every single page, but I'll show you. When I was ill, well, I'm still ill, but anyway, we won't go into all that. But I spent a lot of time in bed, a lot of time on YouTube, and I came across this type of journaling, and I thought, let's give it a whirl. It looks like something that would be fun. So a lot of the videos that I had seen first, people had different areas sectioned off. They had the headers up at the top. So I just kind of went with that whole setup and, put in some sad drawings and things like that. Had like thought for the day, had how I was feeling, different things like that, books that I was reading, things we were watching, what we were doing. Again, here, same thing. My sad drawings, what was going on, very plain, not a lot of color. I was, again, I was just starting out and getting into it. This is when I started adding more things as I was watching and getting inspiration from others on YouTube. I started putting in like little tip-ins, started to attempt to draw a little bit more, things like that. Then this is really when my style kind of came to be. Okay, and I just call my style like a colorful hot mess. I use washi tape, I use clip art, I use stickers, I use colored pencils, colored pens. So now I pretty much use the same materials in all of my books on all of my pages. I use, washi tape, well, the whole list that I just said. So let's see. And then in this book here, I kind of started to paint a little bit more in my book, and I use ink tints for this. And like on this day here, I know a lot of people feel, or, like I see comments or people ask me questions and, about they've skipped a day or they've skipped a week or they've skipped a month. I like having daily entries, but I do have blank pages, believe it or not. And on some of the days, I just do this, if I don't remember what I did that day or I don't remember putting a post-it note in, this is probably the result of me not putting a post-it note in and forgetting what I did that day and being behind. So this is what happens. When I sit down to go back through and work on a bunch of pages, I'm not sure what I did. So I just write down. I'm sure I did something, I just can't remember what, and color it in and call it macaroni. On some of these pages here, I started, experimenting with drawing, and this here is acrylic paint. So in these books, I pretty much use every type of medium there is. These books hold up really well to that, in my opinion. But again, I've said in other videos, journal the way that you want to journal. Do what you want to do. It's your book. So there's that. And then this is how I just did the back. It's just duct taped and a little meme thing, and that's how that one turned out. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these. This is a collage that I did, and then over top of it, I put packing tape just to protect it. On the back, I just put duct tape on it that my daughter had given me. So let's see what's in here. Here again, I used, you've seen this page before, I used Inktense on here. Again, this is a day that was just missing in action. I mean, when I went back to go work on my pages, I didn't know what happened. So I just simply write it out, color it in, and call her done. So yeah, that's just, some of the things that I've done. Let's see here. Oh, on these days, some days I don't feel like writing a lot. I just don't feel like it. We had a lot of doctor's appointments this day, and so I just felt like trying to find the humor in it because I think humor is the best medicine. So I just go through Google, and I clip out funny little cartoons and stick them in. So that's how that book came out. Here's my next book. This was May and June of last year. This is another collage that I did, but I did not put packing tape over top of it. Let's see what's in here. Still doing the same, type of thing. This day I decided to do a little different color scheme. This, I have like a whole book of these that I've drawn out. I love drawing these whimsical trees and putting Bible verses in the branches. Did some tangling, practicing tangling. Yeah, so that's what I did on that. Let's see what else I have here. This day here, again, I use a variety of things, this up here, it is Posca, but you can use any kind of pen. But what I like about writing this way is this is my regular writing. And I use a thicker pen, and then I go around with a thin pen and just outline. And I just think it makes any kind of writing pretty. It makes it look different. And I did it down here as well. So yeah, same old thing, a lot of clip art. This I drew on here, and I think I painted it with Inktense. Clip art, writing, stickers, stuff like that. Up here, I'm still doing my headers up here with the date and the month. And this month I had chosen to use Bible verses in this box, and all I do for these is I get address labels on sale, and I go through and use my, my word processor, and I just copy and paste different verses, put them onto the label, and print them out, and it's that simple. So that's kind of that. And this is more my style today. From here on, pretty much everything looks the same. And I didn't even do anything to the back of that one. Oh, and on the back cover here, this is just a calendar that I liked and cut it up to fit and glued it on. And then I did a currently I'm on this page because this was just an extra page I had. Okay, this one again, this is July and August of last year. This is a calendar thing. Okay, on the inside here, I have my pocket here. Again, another little, calendar page that I glued on. Let's see what's in here. This is one of my favorite pages. It's just so nice and pastel-y, which normally my pages look like this, just colorful hot mess. So yeah, this is from a McDonald's bag, you know, I mean, I get stuff from wherever. And so yeah, I use a bunch of different things. Style is still the same, you know, this is again, colorful hot mess. I love using funny little clip arts. It happened to be a bed day, headache again, you know, just putting down different things that are going on in my life. This here again, doing the, you know, practicing lettering, doing different types of lettering, again with the same type of thing. I use a thicker pen, marker, or paint pen, and then I take a thinner pen, like a flare pen, and I outline it. And I just think it comes out really pretty. It adds a little pop. I was doing practicing some lettering here, and oh, I had 100 subbies this day, and that was a year ago. So I'm so excited. I think I'm up around 650 or something like that. So I'm so excited, and thanks to all of you guys. So I appreciate it. Again, using a lot of clip art. I love using clip art because I can just type in anything clip art and I will come up with exactly what I want to convey in my book to illustrate what's going on. Up here, I have just quotes that I had put, again, on address labels. So that's that. And let me see what I did at the back here. Oh, in the back here is blank. So I had extra pages that have just never been filled in. This day on August 31st, totally blank. I never went back and finished it because obviously right here, I had a headache again. So yeah, I do not work on my books when I have a headache. I do not work on my books daily. I've said it before. I just don't. So I typically use my Post-it notes and stick those in there, and then I will sit down for a time and I will go through and I'll work on 4 to 7 pages all at the same time. So don't fret if you're, you know, if you feel like you're behind or whatever, just pick up where you left off and keep on going. On days like this, when, you know, that's what was going on with me. Chronic illness sucks, and yes, it does. And some days I just have crappy days. And then this is a note from my husband that he had left on the counter because obviously I was having a bad couple of days. So I wanted to keep that in there. Sweet of him. So that's that. And then this is the back of this book here. This here is a cover that I did inspired by Cat Hand. It is address labels, colored address labels. And so I had fun doing that. And let's see if I can open it. On the inside, again, I just put, you know, pretty picture. I have my little pocket here, and, you know, that's how I did that. This is another favorite page of mine, just pretty page. These are some circles that I had done, painted circles, again, inspired by Cat Hand. Yeah, so lettering again with the thicker pen and then the thinner pen outlining it just because I like the way it looks. Oh, up here, instead of quotes or Bible verses, I did I am statements for this month. And yeah, enjoyed doing that. Sometimes on these days here, like I was feeling a little bit salty that day. I was not having a good day. So I just find clip art that, you know, that resonates with me, that shows my feeling or my emotion for that day. So that's what I did for that day. Let's see, what else is in here? Oh, on this day here, again, with the lettering, this is just my hand lettering, my own handwriting. And then I put little dots, you know, to pretty it up. And then I outlined it in a different marker. And it just, I think it comes out looking so pretty. This was inspired by Danny Baytog on YouTube here, and I'll link her below. She's such a sweetheart. And she just does such bright, colorful pages. So I did this mandala in very bright, colorful markers. And that's that one. And this one, I never did the back of it. So there you have it. This is my last one here, my November, December. I believe in November I decided to, oh, this is just a, collage piece from a calendar, I think. Nothing on the back. Let's see. Okay, in here here's my pocket thing. I just did a collage here. In this month here, I did try to change some things up. Instead of doing the header across the top, I had these things that were just in my stash. I don't know where they came from. I printed them out a while ago and just had them in my stash. And so I started using those. I ended up not liking it, and I went back to doing my headers up at the top because it's just more organized for me. And I ended up some days forgetting even to put this in. Like, I had done the whole page and then I forgot to put the day sticker in. Oy. So anyway, and then for this month here as well, I am thankful for down at the bottom. And again, those are just on address labels that I print out. And then here, I did some, sometimes I do draw if I feel like it. Sometimes I put in envelope tip-ins to hold stuff that my kids do. And yeah, so that's that. And then in the end of this book, yeah, I, drew some kawaii things because they're fun to draw. And I actually get those from a YouTube channel called Fun to Draw. And yeah, so this is basically my style. Went back to Bible verses at the top on address labels. And yeah, that's what I did for this month. More kawaii stuff. And let's see the back. And the back is blank. I did nothing. I didn't even cover the inside. So, and the back is not done either. So there you have it. Those are all my books. They sit lovingly on my shelf. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, watching the process, and the evolution of the months from last year. Again, I have like 58 flip throughs starting from my very first one all the way up to present. So feel free to look on my channel for those. And I thank you again for spending your time with me. And I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Catch you next time.